Most businesses have processes that humans do that AI can probably do better. In this video, I'm going to share with you one of the most underrated and underutilized tools inside of ChatGPT that I think can transform your business. You should be using the pro version of ChatGPT because you don't want to be training on your client's data, and you want to make sure that you have access to all the features. The feature we're going to explore today is called GPTs. So when you click on Explore, you'll be taken to the GPTs page. This is kind of like the App Store, but for ChatGPT. A lot of people have built really cool tools that you can use for your business, but let's make one ourselves. Click Create. You'll be taken to this page. You can name it anything. The instructions are the prompt. This is the brains behind it. We'll get into more detail later. Conversation starters, upload any files you want your AI to reference. Recommended model. Pick the latest model that has some thinking if it's a complex task. And then capabilities. Do you want it to search the web, access a better editor called Canvas, image generation? If you're going to do any kind of data analysis or parsing through spreadsheets or anything, you want to click this data analysis code interpreter button. And then this create new action. That's a little more advanced. Once you have your prompt, you can do testing on this side, change the models and see if it performs better. To save time, I'm going to share one of the GPTs I created for our business called Profit Finder. This is based off a book by Bob Fifer called Double Your Profits. I think everybody should read that book. In a business, you either make money or you spend money. If you want to make money, that means sales, getting marketing done, getting money inflows into the company. And then if you want to save money, like you want to make sure your burn rate is low. So that's what this is doing. You're making a to-do list. The first most important bucket is more money in than money goes out. The second thing is keeping the lights on. Admin tasks you can't delegate. It's operations, the minutia that doesn't directly make or save you money. That's usually what most people focus on. On your third list is any task that's not in the first two lists. Those are ripe for delegating, automating, or just dropping in general. I made a prompt here. If this seems a little bit too daunting for you to make and you don't know where to start, you don't like to start with a blank canvas, you can easily just go in to ChatGPT. We'll do auto for now, and we can write it. So it's like, we know from what I just said, Bob Fifer is an expert consultant. The key to writing a great prompt is giving it context that it needs and narrowing down the scope of what you're asking. So I learned a long time ago from listening to a podcast that it's helpful to go context, role, interview, task. Now, from context, give it as much information as you possibly can on what you're trying to achieve. For this example, we're going to build a little GPT to save us money, right? So it's like, I want my business to save money. Please reference books such as Double Your Profits by Bob Fifer. Also, what kind of business do you run? Let's pretend consultancy for marketers. Your role, I want you to be a world-class business consultant who trained under Bob Fifer. Ask me 3 questions, one at a time, for added context to be successful at the task. Write me a system prompt for a custom GPT to help find ways to increase revenue and reduce spend. This role is actually, I want you to be a world-class business Fifer who writes system prompts. Okay. So we send this, and in theory, my context window would be longer, but here it's doing what I asked. What's your current average client size? $3,000. What's your biggest expense category? Labor and software. What's your current delivery model? Fixed projects. But what's interesting here is what you saw is if I just asked it to build a system prompt off my original prompt, it would have made assumptions. And that's where things get wonky with most people's prompting or use of ChatGPT. Those 3 questions gave it added context that it wouldn't have with my initial prompt. So it's important to have the system ask you, because it's not deterministic, it's probabilistic. That means like it's making a whole bunch of weighted pulling levers to hopefully get you from your input to a correct output. If any of those are off, your output's skewed. So having it almost interview you to figure out how to course correct the right path to solve your problem is huge. But now you have it, right? You have this profit multiplying GPT, you have the role, core behavior it's supposed to follow, the working method, the output format. It gives examples. Examples are huge when it comes to prompt engineering. And then a tone. So you can just take this, copy it, go here, make a new one real quick. Drop it into your system instructions. It even gave us a name. You can say, this is going to make me money, right? Conversation starter. How do we start our day? Now, you can go do some things here. I like to use like the deep research function and give it more context and have it go scour the internet for a whole bunch of different sources. Then I would put that in a Google Doc, save it, and drop it in here. If you want me to show you how to do that, let me know in the comments. Probably do a code interpreter. Maybe we'll just leave that model. For this, thinking is pretty great. It's a pretty solid model. GPT-5 is not the best, but for speed purposes, we'll just do this. Now, hi, I want to start my day and need some guidance on my to-dos. This is where we're going to start testing out the model. Let's start with profit first, task second, answer these 3 diagnostic questions. I'll then take a short cash position, how much cash on hand. If you're running a business, you should be able to answer them. Profit choke points. And then once you give me this, you'll have an output. If you want access, let me know in the comments. But as you can see, every morning, if I'm following that profit first model, I'm going to be making those to-dos. Instead of just doing it on paper, I can take a picture, upload it to this GPT, and have it analyze. And now I have a feedback loop, kind of like a business partner who's my coach, helping me focus on gaining more profit, reducing my spend, and different things that I can do. And that's just pretty remarkable, right? It's like, this is a piece of software that you now can give it to other people on your team. You can give it to your accountant. You can give it to your different project managers and be like, hey, we're always trying to be efficient. We're always trying to get our profit up to 85, 90%. Whatever you're doing, that's software talk, but it's like, your goal is to stay in business and thrive. Imagine all the other tools you could be building so that you build it once, you train people on how to use it. Now they are becoming more repeatable and more reliable. So once you're able to repeatedly automate a process with the GPT and you have that human in the loop and they're checking it, and eventually it becomes second nature to where they're almost not checking it anymore because the output's so reliable and high quality, then it's time to start thinking about how you can automate further. The human probably shouldn't even be in the loop on that point. And maybe we need to talk about AI agents. And that's where I'm going to get to in this channel. I want to start showing how you can start automating further and further parts of the business. I love this graphic from Lindy. Lindy.ai is one of the tools that I have gravitated to the most after trying a whole bunch of them. I'm not affiliated with them, but I think they are the easiest tool to use to start building these AI agents. If you want access, I'll leave a link in the description. And if you use it, it helps support this channel. I want us to show how one person or a small team can use agents to outsource marketing, improve revenue coming in, improve their technology stack, their general administrative stuff. Get humans out of the minutia doing the repetitive, and let's have AI agents do that so that the humans can do higher level strategy, talking with customers, talking with other humans. And I think we can do some really cool stuff. If you found this helpful, let me know what GPT you're going to build in the comments, or if you've already started building agents, which ones you're outsourcing to our computer friends. I'll see you in the next one.